Well, joining us right now is, of course, we're talking about some scams, and joining us now is Justine Bemis, Vice President of Fraud Services at Midwest One Bank, to share what scams are going around this holiday season and how to protect ourselves. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
So let's first talk about some of these scams that are happening to everyday people.
Right, and that's exactly right. They happen to everyday people. They could happen to anyone, including myself or you, right? They can happen to anybody. So just some scams that we're seeing today, online scams, right? So Cyber Monday was a little while ago, but we all remember, and we were all shopping. It was one of the biggest Cyber Mondays we've ever had. And so a lot of online shopping. Scammers know that too. So they're standing up fake websites in order to trick us into giving us two things they're always looking for: our personal information and our bank account or credit card information.
And these websites always look so real.
They look so real. Right. Watch for things like grammatical errors, or the logo looks a little off, or maybe it's got typos, right? So look for those things that we call those red flags in my world. So just those online scams are big. Social media scams. So we're all scrolling through social media all the time, right? And what the scammers do is they kind of know our patterns of behavior. They also know what we're looking for when we're shopping. They like to do these pop-up ads, and the deal sounds just amazing.
Oh, well, it's hard to pass up.
Right, and if it feels too good to be true, it probably is. Again, they're looking for you to click on a link. You're going to hear me say a couple times, don't click on links, and don't call phone numbers in those.
Oh, and speaking of not clicking on links, how about the next scam, missed delivery scam text messages?
Delivery scams. So I don't know anybody that hasn't had these yet, right?
Yeah,
because we're all shopping online. We're all waiting for those packages to come into our door. And again, the fraudsters, the scammers, they know that. So they're sending these fraudulent text messages. And again, the key with those is they want to get you to click on a link or call or visit a website, and you just don't want to do that because they're looking for, again, your account information or your personal information.
Now, what can people do to protect their money? And if they think they've been a victim of the scam, what can they do to protect themselves?
Yeah, so monitor your bank account statements. When those credit card statements come in the mail, those are so critical. Make sure that you don't throw those in the pile with the Christmas cards. Open those statements. Look them over thoroughly, right? Make sure that you're monitoring those. Make sure that when you are shopping online that you're looking at those websites that they look legitimate. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. Be wary of any unsolicited messages, whether those come through text or through email. And again, if you weren't expecting it, just delete it. And then one of the things I do when I'm shopping online is I use a credit card instead of my debit card attached to my bank accounts. That way, if something happens, I can quickly shut it down, and I haven't impacted my bank account.
It's always easier to call the credit cards about it
rather
than debit. Yeah, that's the one piece of advice I've always known. All right.
That's right.
Well, we are out of time, but thank you so much for coming in.
You are welcome.
We'll be right back.